Is it a good time to buy a home? Well, according to a recent Zillow report for people in Florida and Texas, it is. When we take a look at it, it says Florida, Texas markets rank tops for buyers in new Zillow index. So as we dive into a little more of the detail, they have an infographic that kind of paints the picture a little better. And they've got a little scale here at the bottom, and the dark reds to red to orange and yellow indicate a stronger seller's market. The deep blues to lighter blues and kind of grays indicate a more favorable buyer's market. As we can see here in this kind of southern region of the U.S., a lot of blues and grays, which is good news for buyers. And that's really a story that we keep telling over and over again, which is for people where buying a new home is a foregone conclusion because just the current home doesn't meet the needs anymore, or maybe it's time to buy that first home. The contention that we have, and we believe this firmly, is that sooner rather than later, this is a limited time offer to a certain degree. The tides will turn. It will turn more to a seller's market, most notably likely when the rates come down, because it's going to bring a lot of extra competition in, and housing supply is not going to raise that much. We will get some people that sell their house, and that adds a little more inventory, but there's far more people who think that it's going to be a more intense competition than an actual price reduction. But speaking of that, I wanted to talk a little bit about how that might look, and a similar topic that we get asked a lot, which is, hey, what if I just waited until the rates got lower? What if rates were better and then I took a stab at this? Well, one thing that we know is, if rates, as an example, were 6.8 versus 5.8, where people would like to see them, and where we think there's a decent chance they could go in the next year and a half, well, that would make a difference in the payment about $126. Correction, $226. And while we don't need to seem glib about even a single penny of our clients' money, at the end of the day, it is going to be far easier to negotiate a deal on a buyer's behalf right now than it will be in the future when rates are lower. And when the difference is, say, only $226 or so, that is not a real good winning proposition from a buyer standpoint. So we do encourage people to more strongly consider that move right now. And the good news is, no one can say for sure, but we really do have a strong expectation that sometime in the next year and a half, rates will drop down, and we can get folks that lower payment. So I paint this as perspective because sometimes there's the thought that the jump between these two numbers will have an impact on the payment of like $1,000, and it just doesn't work that way. I also wanted to use this graphic just to talk about just some rumblings that I hear out there say that people think that home prices will plummet. And that's just not likely to happen. But for argument's sake, by the way, this was put together by the National Association of Realtors, this graphic. But just for argument's sake, let's just say that prices dropped 10%, but rates stayed the same. Well, at the end of the day, the payment would be about what it was if we waited for rates to drop. So either way, there's not a strong argument to wait, because while scenario one is fairly likely that we could get those payments down here because we think there's a good chance rates will come down. Scenario two, we don't know so much. That's a tougher ask to expect that somehow the rates would drop that much. So we hope this information is beneficial. We always look forward to providing peace of mind any way we can. If you'd like to have a discussion, let us know. Thanks.